So we're going to start off by making some cob for the base layer for the walls. This is going to go straight onto the stones. So this cob here is a mixture of some clay based earth, a little bit of sand, some straw, and then add water and make it into a little sausage, stamp it up, trample it, and then just slap it on the walls. We had a lot of mates come down, give us a hand with this, which was really appreciated, and many hands made light work. So as we were doing the walls, I thought I'd bust through a chimney pipe through this wall here. I put it through the wall instead of the roof because it just makes for easier waterproofing. So yeah, that's what that is. I made these windows, the frames, plug boards, just did a bit of carpentry. This was mainly off camera because I did it in bits and bobs. There was never a real work day for doing that one job, but that's where that all came from. I did really make them, I didn't buy them. But here's the fitting. It's all out of some white oak boards that I had lying about.
Doesn't matter. There we go. That's the door for the Secadou. Solid oak. Weighs an absolute ton. That's the join in the arch here. Just sort of lap joint. And doweled. Yeah, very heavy door. Do the job, won't it?
The pointing never ends, but good mate to do it with. It's always good.
They didn't, and I would.
Honestly, fucking going.
So we just thought we'd test fits and flashing, and then we're doing I think this is called shogo shobivan or something like that. It's like a Japanese way of burning wood to preserve it a bit. I just wanted to darken it.
Drugs and alcohol and women.
Sorry for the lost clip, but we spent the day rendering the last remaining external wall, and then we're back inside. So we're just cleaning back the original floor as much as possible, and then fitting in some new stones where there is no more floor, in just the hopes that we can make something useful out of it.
We're getting it finished now, and we're just working on the last of the plaster. Here we go, in we are. So it's this wall for today. I'll set you up somewhere and we'll put it on fast forward or something, so you'll get to see the satisfaction of watching the thing come together without having spent hours doing it. All right, much love. So first things first, we've got to wet down the wall. So this is a cob wall, so it's just a bit of clay-based mud, sand and straw. We're going to be using a lime plaster. The plaster, to be specific, is a mixture of Radical PF80, sand, bit of mud and some hemp, and that's going to stick pretty nice to this. It's all going to be a bit bumpy wumpy, wibbly wobbly. That's what we're after. I've already wrapped up all the beams and all the electrics, so you've got to make sure it's nice and moist, otherwise it's not going to stick nice. There we go, right, so let's crack on. Right, there we go. So we're on our 6th mix for the day now. Also, good heads up when working with lime. Gloves, eyes, all of that, because I mean, that's me, maybe not blind, but at least in a fair bit of bother. So always wear the gear. Also masks when you're mixing it. So yeah, here we are. Got another mix down there. And we have got just that little bit at the bottom to go, if you can see it. So there's light at the end of the tunnel. Let's crack on.
So we thought we'd lime wash the walls, so make some lime paint. Turns out you can buy lime paint. People buy lime paint, but no, it's lime and it's water. Bag of lime, water. You got paint. It goes on a bit milky, translucent, but when it dries, it really pops. It gets much more matte in its finish and it goes proper white. Also, if you want to change the colour, make it a bit more off-white or whatever sort of colours you want. We chucked a bit of red earth in there to make it a bit more cream, but I'm pretty sure whatever natural pigments you've got lying around, wherever they've come from, whatever you can make, you can just probably chuck that in. It seems to stain quite easily, so I mean, go knock yourself out.
Copper, it's going to go back and then it's going to go in. Right, so we've got to drive this all the way in. It's going to be fun. Let's do it.
Don't worry, we did dig it down a bit deeper than that and put in all the necessary precautions. Momo kept filling it back up, so hey ho.
Right, so the stone floor has been pointed and is finished and is looking terrible. I hate it and I'm going to have to cover it. It's just silly. It's not a floor, it's barely a road. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to start marking up and cutting a bunch of Douglas, and we're just going to put in a floating floor on top of it. Pack it out.
make it look decent. At least there's something flat, soft, not so bone breaky. So yeah, I'll set you up somewhere and you can watch me do that. Right, so wiggly walls, that's how I tend to do it. You get a thing, bit of scrap, draw some holes in it. You can just choose the distance you want. So basically we'll choose the furthest distance here, which is about here. That, or maybe that. Let's play it safe and go here, in this hole here. And we'll work along the wall. And it's going to get you approximatively, but generally I found it to be pretty accurate. So although there is a stone floor underneath the Douglas floor that I've just put down, I needed to drag this big old stone out of the ruins and use that to chuck the stove on, because I just didn't feel comfortable having a stove sat on a floating floor. Bit of work, but it did pay off. You can also see the finished roof here. At the top on the ridge you've got a zinc plate running along it and interlocked tiles which hold it down. Looks pretty cool. And this here is just going to be a little corner desk just to fill up that little space in case anybody wants to work on a computer like a modern Michael. Couple of stress cracks in the boards, so just put in a couple bow ties to secure it. Oily, 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 oily.
Like 2mm off of that.
Yeah.
And then keep them all exactly the same.
Okay.
So welcome to my joy. We're putting in insulation. So this is the outside poplar. You can see how much it shrunk because it was put up there pretty green. And what we have here, this is it going up. So you can see we're just cutting poplar boards. They're a bit planed and they're going between these little rails that I made, also poplar. And yeah, you just undersize them a little bit and slot them in. And then we've got a 4cm barrier of wood wool or laine de bois. And then when that's finished, it looks like that. So yeah, not finished or not started, halfway, finished. And then at the top for the peg, we're just going to do a little thing like this. There we go. So I've got to make a bed, which is going to go against the ceiling. I've got my technical drawings here, so ready, beddy, go. It's made out of poplar and oak. I did it like that so it'll match the ceiling. So when you push it up, it's almost like it's not even there. Yeah, see that? Just like that. Woohoo. Disappeared. Putting in some pulleys and ropes and whatnot so we can get a counterweight system on it. So there we go. That's actually the building finished. I could make excuses as to why there's so many clips missing from this video. The reality is I'm a builder, not a filmmaker, and I'm trying my best. So this was a real whistle-stop tour of everything involved in making this project happen, and I hope it was interesting or informative for some people. Yeah, now the little Secadou, it lives again. This video didn't cover any of the work it took to put the electrics in, but that's just because we're absolutely no authority on electricity. It was done safely and correctly, but I wouldn't want to give any kind of tutorial or anything on electrics. So we did it with help of a friend who's much more qualified than me, but we'll leave it at that. So we renovated this building to be a little guest house for our friends that come and help us with the build, because obviously that's one little building down, but there's probably 6 or more to go. So it means that people have somewhere comfortable they can stay, but it also means in the winter when it drops down to the -10s, we've got somewhere we can run away and hide when the yurt gets too cold. The ambient temperature in there tends to sit at around 10 degrees, but if you light the stove, it heats right up real quick, so it's a real good little hideaway.